The 10 rules to eat by when following the Athlean X meal plans here are your rules to eat by for the 90-day meal plans. As I said, don't worry, I'm not out to make this impossible or to drown you in the fine print. On the contrary, my rules are going to be brief, will add clarity, and will hopefully make this way of eating even better than you ever could have imagined. All without the unnecessary work that most other meal plans would require of you. Now, without any further delay, let's get started. Cut out the calorie counting. That's right, forget counting calories, forget measuring things, forget wasting your time worrying about all this stuff. Why? It's really not necessary. The minute I get my clients to believe in this concept, it's like a light bulb goes off, and everything else becomes easy. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather look more muscular and ripped, or would you like to know how many calories a day you consume? Seriously. There are some stubborn guys out there that would say the calories, but that's just old habits and conventional wisdom die hard. I'm telling you that you don't need to know specific calories as long as the food choices you are making are good ones. This program revolves around making good food choices and then letting you eat as much of those foods as you'd like. You will get full on this meal plan before you get fat. That is my promise. Take all the unnecessary math out of the picture here and instead concentrate on improving your food choices, and you will be much more successful on this eating plan than anyone you've ever followed before. 2. If you don't like something, don't eat it. I know this should probably go without saying, but if you really don't like something that is suggested on a given day in the meal plans, by all means, don't eat it. There are too many meals spread out over the next 90 days, 540 to be exact, for me to have nailed every one for everybody. That said, by the way, this is why most meal plans are garbage. They make you feel as if they suggest you eat oatmeal in the morning for breakfast, and you don't eat it because it just so happens that you hate oatmeal. Then you won't get good results. Nonsense. If you don't like oatmeal, don't have it. Feel free to substitute any other breakfast meal that I have on here within the next 90 days, and you will be fine. Some of you out there will lock in on 2 or 3 breakfasts that you like, and that's it. That's fine. Stick to what works for you, and you will get better results than you ever would following one of those rigid meal plans. 3. Supplements can be a savior. Are supplements necessary? Not always, but when it comes to adding muscle and burning fat, it is imperative that you continue to supply your body with good calories every 2.5 to 3 hours to keep your muscle-building factory in full operation. The convenience of protein bars and shakes cannot be understated. I have personally used the portability of these foods to my advantage, both with myself and my clients, to produce the most muscular, ripped body you can expect to get naturally. The fact that I can throw a protein bar in my pocket and not have to worry about where my next meal is going to come from is huge. If I had to rely on whole foods all the time for my much-needed calories, I might look like a traveling Tupperware party. Not necessary. Shakes work better for you? Not a problem. Invest in a $2 shaker bottle and load it with your meal replacement or protein powder before you leave the house in the morning, and all you need to do is add water later in the day when you need it, and you're all set. As far as which brands I suggest, I always stick to 2, as I've had the most results with them, and I know that they are safe. These are ProGrade Strength and EAS. Both use high-quality ingredients, and both have a proven track record. I personally favor ProGrade Strength because I have used it with better results than anything else I have ever taken. Also, with EAS' recent acquisition by Abbott, they also make baby food. I feel as if their quality and focus may have been sacrificed a bit. In any event, whichever you choose, supplements will make you getting your regular meals, without skipping, second nature. IV. Make sure you eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. As I just alluded to in the last rule, it is crucial that you get some good food into your system every 2.5 to 3 hours. Not only will this keep your blood sugar levels stable, which will curb your fat storage and keep your energy levels up throughout the day, but it will prevent you from wanting to overeat or binge at your next meal when the last meal you ate was 6 hours ago. V. A failure to prepare is preparing to fail. Now, I know that as guys, most of us aren't exactly Julia Child in the kitchen. But that is okay, and it certainly doesn't have to stop us. It might be a bit of a stretch to think that we are actually going to prepare food each and every day. Probably not going to happen. But what you can do to make this all much easier is to pick one day where you prepare a bulk portion of what you would like to eat throughout the week, either for lunches or dinners or both. For example, feel like having grilled chicken wraps for lunch and variations of it for dinner throughout the week. Grill a bunch of them up on a Sunday and then just store them in a plastic container or bag in the fridge and go to them as you need them. Make it once. Use it often. Versus, George can be your biggest friend. As a continuation of the last rule, always try and make your life as easy as possible. If you're like most men, heck, like most of the world by now, you probably have a George Foreman grill lying around somewhere. Use it. It is super simple and makes food preparation, not only chicken, but also beef, vegetables, pork, etc., a snap. Simply plug the thing in, let it heat up, lay down what you want to cook on it, and close the lid. It couldn't get any easier. And for us busy guys, that's just the way we like it. For sixth, eliminate the sweets. I know this one might be hard for some of you, but if you really want to get your very own six-pack, then you are going to have to work with me here. If you are a habitual sweets eater, stop. Not only are these foods often loaded with tons of fat, calories, and sugar, but they are worse, what we would call empty calories. This means that these foods do nothing for helping your muscles repair themselves and grow larger. They do nothing to fuel your metabolism. They do nothing to give you more usable energy. Really, they do nothing. Follow the pattern here yourself and have nothing to do with them, if building the best body you can is your goal. Get your fill of fiber. One of the most underrated nutrients when it comes to building a leaner, more muscular body is fiber. Sometimes the muscle heads will talk of nothing but protein, as if it's the holy grail of muscle. And while it certainly does play a role in helping you to grow stronger, fiber is one element of your food that you're going to want to increase in order to get your biceps to bulge while your waistline gets shredded. Fiber leads to a feeling of fullness. It's the bulk associated with foods like broccoli, salads, squash, asparagus, carrots, etc. that fills the stomach and makes you feel less like you want to drop by a Burger King and try one of everything on the menu. When you combine this with the frequent eating, every 2.5 to 3 hours, you have a lethal 1-2 punch that should leave your body fat shaking or jiggling, knowing its days are numbered. IX. Water all the time. I'm sure you've heard how valuable water is, both to keeping you feeling full, but also to keeping you 6 feet above those that won't drink it. That's the grave for those who haven't figured out my sick but true sense of humor yet. In fact, getting at least half of your body weight in ounces of water each day is crucial to building bigger muscles. A muscle without water is like solar generator without sun. Neither one of them is likely to work. That said, the best way to get a head start on this hydration race is to drink 24 ounces of water immediately upon waking. After sleeping for the last 7 hours or so, your body is craving to be rehydrated. So give it what it wants. Keep a 12-ounce glass at your bathroom sink and chug 2 of them right after brushing your teeth in the morning. You'll be well on your way to getting your recommended daily amount by simply following that up with a bottle of water at every one of your 6 meals thereafter. X, sometimes, almost, is good enough. You have to look at the big picture here. If you are eating the way I suggest you do, then you will be eating 6 times a day, 7 days a week. That comes out to 42 total meals a week. Now, do you have to eat perfectly every single time? I'm not going to lie. No. If you were to eat, say, 37 meals on point but slipped up just a bit on 5 of them, you would be doing just fine. The closer you get to a perfect 42 for 42, the quicker you will see those last few inches drop from your waist. And that 4-pack you're sporting may turn into the 6-pack you've wanted. The whole idea is this: take these meal plans and use them as either a nutrition Bible, where you follow every single meal to the letter, day by day, if that is what you feel will get you on track and ensure your success. If you instead are just looking for a guideline for how to eat and have been unsure of how to structure your meals, either in food choices or meal timing, then let these 90 days serve as a detailed example that will give you even more ideas that you can adapt to fit your needs. Either way, use these meal plans hand in hand with your Athlean-X training system, and in just 90 days from now, look bigger, more ripped, and feel healthier and better than you have at any point in your life. Guaranteed.